opportunities, and if your long game is hot like this, you know, I mean, this was made difficult because he had to stun this through the gap, which he did perfectly. You know, you can look at the pot and think, oh, but this one's my favourite, Dennis.
I love this, the swerve around the blue and to judge the angle to pot it and get himself onto the blue was superb. This is classed as a long pot, but it's a long plant, I suppose. And then the last frame, once again, you see, if you get in with this type of shot, doesn't that make a difference?
Yeah, and then what I was even more impressed with, the blue straight after it was absolutely superb. Right in, there was a little bit of pressure on that. Okay, you can argue 4-0 up, not as much as if you were 4-0 down, but nevertheless, straight into the pocket.
Well, now then, Dechuat was in exactly the same position last night. He was 5-0 down. Surely it could never happen again. But he can be thinking about that. But will he get a chance? Will he get a sniff at a pot? Selby will carry on playing as if the scores were level. He won't take any undue risks. He's the ultimate professional, and that's the way you've got to be. You've got to be ruthless when you're out there. A gentleman sitting in the studio throughout the 80s was pretty ruthless, Steve Davis.
One.
Didn't try and do anything special with it, just rolled it in. He's just looking to see if he tried to cut the black in, would he miss the reds? He'd have to be careful he doesn't go in the middle pocket here if he does slip past the reds, but this is a tough cut. What a terrible run of the ball he's had there.
It's never been able to play position, has he? That's his problem. What a pot that was. The two pots consecutively.
Well, isn't that great to see? Dechuat sitting there smiling. I mean, he is a bit of a character at this point. I mean, the players love going to Thailand. The people are just so lovely out there.
Mark Selby.
Well, a bit of a chance for Dechuat. Hasn't managed to pot a ball for just over 34 minutes. I'd love to see him knock in a big break. Generous round of applause for that single pot red, but I think, you know, the British public have taken to this boy.
That was great there. Did you see the way he limbered up there, ready as if he was there? I'm finally getting a chance. Here I go.
6.
I love them shots right down the queue. It's terrific to see those. I mentioned limbering up. I missed it. Oh, there we go. Here we are. Right, watch this.
I mean, ideally, if you could play this and power it down, open the reds out, this would be the way to do it. I don't know whether he's got the angle for that. And he's tried it. And he has. And you're guaranteed to be on nothing, can't you, when it's not your day?
11.
Unlucky.
He's still sighing and.
Deshrat Poomjaeng, 11.
Good shot that. Very good. And he's covered it because Mark was having a look at the plant on the right hand side. Those two reds, I think they're pretty adjacent. Yeah, they can definitely be made if you could see it, but the green is definitely stopping him getting there. So Mark will have to be a bit wary with his safety shot here that he doesn't leave that up. So I think it'll be a thin clip off one of these reds.
Just caught it a little thicker than he intended. This is a bit of a chance because he can pot this and get onto the black. The red's not straight, so just play it with a little bit of top spin off the side and top cushion and out past that red, and it'll be nicely on the black. You can see him just striking the ball above centre there. Well played.
One.
I mean, obviously Deshrat is a very decent player, we know that, but I thought that result the other day against Stoke, he came from 5-0 behind to beat Mark Joyce 6-5, but the result before was very impressive, Dennis. He beat Ryan Day, who's one of the most attacking and best break builders on the tour. When I saw that result, it made me sit up and take notice because he can play.
9.
And we'll never forget him at the Crucible in 2013 where he beat Stephen Maguire on a deciding frame 10-9.
60.
I think he confused Stephen Maguire. I think he proved then
7.
what a good player he was.
I think he might like to have that shot again, the one he's just played. Needs to leave himself half ball on this black. Doesn't want to be straight. So he could get an angle into the pack, but he's come up straight. Problem is, if you miss the pink there, you're going to be snookered on that red. Oh, because he comes straight on that black.
24.
Yeah, you could have done with a little bit more side on that to keep it away from the pink. A shame because that was a good chance, but just slipped out of position.
Deshrat Poomjaeng, 24.
Yeah, this was the shot where he finished straight on the black. A little bit of side and it would have just gone away from the pink and red and he would have been okay. But as John mentioned, it's a poor shot to leave himself dead straight on the black. Make no mistake, Mark Selby will want to get this match over as quickly as possible. Players have been here since last Tuesday. Everyone comes in at the 128th stage. That's why we see some of the top players going out before we get to the televised stages.
Getting to be quite a decent target behind yellow and brown here for safety shots, so I'm pretty sure Mark Selby won't be too far away with this return. Well, that was his intention, but got that a little bit on the thin side.
Well, there is a pot on here, but looking at the angle, I don't know if he can avoid these reds. So this is a key shot coming up as to whether Dechuat can take his first frame. Good pot but on the black, but the only problem, as we show you the pot again, the angle he has on the black, he's just going away slightly from the reds. I don't know if he can just drop it in and hold it. That's what he's played. And he's just about okay.
8.
And that's the first time the sidebar's been up there for Dechuat. He needs 68 points.
Nine.
The two reds between pink and black are available, so if he's straight on the black, doesn't really matter this time.
$60. $70.
You never like to see a player whitewashed, and he's giving it everything he's got here in this frame. And I think if he goes on to take the frame, he'll get a fantastic round of applause from this Barbican crowd. He's 50 ahead, so
23.
two reds, two colours would be enough.
24.
Doesn't have to worry about the four difficult reds.
$30. $31.
So the comeback's on, Dennis.
Yeah, everything going according to plan at the moment. hang on, Dechawat, wait till the black's back on its spot.
38.
Mark's thinking about
right,
coming to the
38.
table, but
And the frame.
no, he's conceded. So Dechawat Poomjaeng has waited a long time, and look at that gesture. He's got one frame on the board. Well done, Dechawat. But he still trails by 5 frames to 1.